Is it true you made a PowerPoint presentation when you were a kid?
I put together a 5-year business plan presentation for my mom and my dad to convince them to let me act. It worked. It worked. My parents were convinced.
Which one of your jobs felt the most like you made it as an actress?
Probably Euphoria. Cassie is crazy, but she's so much fun.
You guys can all judge me if you want, but I do not care. I have never, ever been happier.
There's so many layers to her, and I think that she's very misunderstood, and she also doesn't really understand herself sometimes. She's so vulnerable. Having a character that is very in touch with her emotions can lean towards like a very chaotic, messy, emotional state, and it's a lot of fun to be able to dive into something like that.
Would you ever consider playing another character like Cassie?
I've always just been really interested in challenging myself in different characters, so like if I get sent stuff that is similar to Cassie, I usually just say thank you and don't do it.
Who is one person from the Euphoria cast that you would have been friends with in high school?
Definitely Maude. I mean, she's my best friend now, but I wish that I would have known her in high school.
What's one of your favorite moments with her?
We had to present at the Emmys a few years ago, and we both were so beyond nervous to go on stage, and I didn't have my glasses and I can't see far away. And I remember the teleprompter was going, and then I couldn't see it at all, and we both were standing there, and she goes, "You say it." I'm like, "You say it." And she's like, "No, you say it," because she was nervous too. And it was just one of those moments where we were both laughing at ourselves because we were just being a goofball.
You're going to be starring as boxer Christy Martin in an upcoming biopic. What's one thing you did to prepare?
I trained for a few months leading up to it. I did weight training twice a day, and then boxing every day for 3 hours a day. And I put on about 35 pounds for the role. It was a very transformative, different experience.
What's one reason you wanted to play Christy Martin?
I don't know if I can say just one reason. Christy is such a strong and inspiring woman who has been a fighter inside the ring and outside the ring, and her story deserves to be told and to be seen, and I couldn't imagine not being a part of it.
Tell me about the one moment you knew you wanted to act.
I remember in school, I was in 3rd grade, and we had an assignment where we had to choose our profession, and then we would then get to know like how much money you make per month, and you'd have to pay taxes. And I remember I could not for the life of me decide what I wanted to do. I was like, I can't imagine doing one thing for the rest of my life. And I knew I wanted to be an actress because I can be and try out as many people for as long as I can.
What's one thing you would tell that girl at that time?
To enjoy the process more. Auditioning is the most fun. Probably have had over 500 auditions between the ages of like 11 and 18 and didn't get a single one. But being able to just experiment with all of these different characters, it's fun. It challenges you in new ways.
Do you have any funny audition stories?
I got a call back for a recurring role on a TV show. It's like an ABC family show. And my character had a long monologue. And I'm usually really, really good at memorizing lines. But it was the first time that my audition was on a stage. And everybody was like sitting in the front row. And something just changed in me where I got really, really nervous and I got stage fright. And I couldn't remember a single word. They finally were like, "You can look at your lines." And I just started crying and I left. It was so bad. It was so bad.
You know, they say nerves and excitement are the same thing.
Yes, it's just how you process them, and I'm still working on that.
What's one thing you do before taking on a new character?
I always build character books for my characters, like an interactive journal, scrapbook, timeline of their entire life. I think one of the most interesting ones is probably Handmaid's Tale for Eden, because she was raised during Gilead's time, so she couldn't read. So everything in her book is actually just visuals, and there's no words because she wouldn't know how to read them.
You're in the new movie Americana playing a character named Penny Jo.
You sing country music?
Again, music is there.
Yeah.
Tell me about one of the stories in her character book.
So Penny Jo was born and raised in one of those towns where when you're driving by, if you blink, you'll miss it. I wrote a story about her dreaming of running away to Nashville and how she would do it when her mom's asleep or at work, and she would grab her guitar case and she'd get in the car and hitchhike if she had to, if she couldn't get her mom's keys.
Reminds me of you dreaming to become an actress.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, when you're little, like, especially in Spokane, Washington, I wasn't raised with social media. I was always outside running around, so I don't think I even knew what Hollywood was. I just was in love with playing pretend and being all these different characters, and that's all I wanted to do. I had no idea that all of this came with it.